Inclusive PPE is a vital part of workplace health and safety because it keeps workers safe on site. The problem we've had historically is that one size does not fit all. When you have a set of gloves, for example, which is ill-fitting on an operative, if they're operating a piece of machinery, that can slip off, for example. If you have a piece of high-vis which is too big, that can catch on something. And I think worse, actually, if you've got larger size boots than you actually need, then slips, trips and falls are something that can actually happen on site or in the workplace. I have personal experience of having ill-fitting PPE. Earlier on in my career, I was working on station designs, and as part of that, I had to do station surveys. I was heavily pregnant at the time as well. And unfortunately, I did not have a high-vis jacket that fits, so I could not do up the jacket in front. Also, a size 5 boots. There weren't size 5 boots back then. The PPE started at size 6. And for those that know PPE quite well, the site boots are actually quite wider than normal. So I was on site actually doing the training. Luckily, this was training on a railway site. So we were taken to a site that actually doesn't have a live rail. But I was there with a high-vis jacket that I could not do up. I had boots that were too big, and every time I tried to cross the railway line in attempt to practice how to do it on a real line, I kept tripping up. And what the instructor said is, look, if that happened on a real live rail, I think his words were close to fried chicken. So it is really important that we actually have proper fitting PPE to prevent accidents on site. If a business is unsure where to start with inclusive PPE, the first advice I'll give them is to download a copy of the British Standard 30417. Secondly, I'll advise them to do an audit of their organisation. What PPE do they have? Who needs PPE? One of the good things about this standard is it makes sure that everyone, whether it has to do with your gender, your size, whether you need maternity requirements, there's PPE available. So do an audit of what your organisation needs. Reach out to manufacturers. If you don't have exact ones in the catalogue, reach out to manufacturers who can actually adapt the PPE to kind of fit the operatives you have within your organisation. And lastly, make sure you continue to do that audit. You don't just do it once and then stop. You need to continue to do that audit to make sure you always have PPE that fits and is inclusive for all your operatives.